The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to be going ahead and getting started on a webinar this morning. It's on Roth Conversions. We'll be joined by Dave Pimper here shortly, and he'll give us his expertise on what he does in the field. Some great sales ideas Dave will be bringing forth here shortly. So thanks for joining us today on this beautiful summer day, and we look forward to another great night of baseball here in Omaha tonight with the College World Series, so that does continue. And we do offer some really nice incentives to producers that refer agents to us. You get a nice $50 bonus when you that referred agent gets contracted. We also have a override based on their business. So if you have an agent that does $1 million with us in this first year, you'll get $2,000 based on that referral. So really nice combination there. We also have our marketing reimbursement, reimburse $100 for every $100,000 of premium that is written through IMES on the indexed annuity side of the business. You can develop a really nice bank account for marketing needs, and a great way for us to go ahead and help you out with your marketing costs. So definitely keep that in mind. We also have our new producer builders. These are very nice incentives you can earn based on levels of production the first 6 months of being contracted. We have 3 different levels to qualify for: a $100,000 level, a $300,000 level, and a $500,000 level. We have some great packages we put together for this. We have a Ritz-Carlton travel package. We have an iPad subscription to a website that will be developed for you. We also have a couple of great seminar coaching systems, one with Matt Gill and one with Dave Pimper. So some great opportunities on that end of it to take advantage of. So definitely make sure that you are taking full advantage of that situation. And if you do have any questions along the way in this morning's webinar, you can go ahead and get those asked. I'll be glad to get those taken care of for you in regards to the meeting itself. We also have some other items you can choose from based on cash incentives and gift cards, a lot of different items that you can pick and choose from based on that need. We've got a great back office team here at IMES. We've got a great new business team. They help with your business and getting that run through the channels. I know with the different suitability requirements now, a lot of different requirements for training. I mean, a lot of things have to be accomplished before you can get your piece of business sent through the system. So some great options on that end. We've got a really good creative team here also that can help you out with if you're developing a marketing program, be it social media or emails or advertising via mailings. They can help you out with all that marketing information. So definitely keep on top of that deal. We got a great marketing team here that can help you out with your case design. Maybe you've got an 85-year-old client who wants to invest $100,000, looking for the best accumulation. We can run some numbers for you on that situation. We've got a great life insurance team here that can help you out with doing quotes. Maybe you got a term insurance quote you need, or a IUL, or a whole life. They can help you out with all those situations. So definitely keep that in mind. We got paperless contract. If you can get licensed up with a number of carriers at one time, we can go and get ahead and get that taken care of for you on our end, and make sure that's all being handled on your side. But definitely keep those details in mind. We've got a booklet we send out about once a quarter. It's our life and annuity news. I know we have another one coming out here in September. Gives you a really good overview of what you offer at IMES. Has a lot of our higher selling products on the life and annuity side in the book itself. We give you some different sales ideas and some different campaigns we're doing. So some really good information you can pick up based on those books. As I mentioned, we do have a great creative team here at IMES, and we've got a number of individuals that can help you out. Maybe you want to redesign your logo. Maybe you're trying to put together some business cards, redesign those. As I mentioned, maybe you're trying to do a social media campaign that can help you out with that. Some great information that can help you out with based on what we could provide here through IMES. And then we've got 3 individuals that do work in that department. I know they all do a fantastic job. So definitely keep that in mind on your future needs on that side of it. And they do a great job helping out, getting that all processed through. We've got a website available to you. It's available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You can pull off information based on your needs for forms. Maybe you want to go out and write a case. You need to get the forms downloaded and get that done for you. There's different industry links you can take advantage of. We have our annuity grid, our long-term care grid. You can utilize all that information based on that and take full advantage of those situations. So definitely keep that in mind. We've got a great industry link location on the website. You can go on there and pull up information. Maybe you want to look at some information on some tax details. Maybe you're trying to get an AM Best report on a group. Maybe you're trying to look up some information on a state insurance website. We have a lot of those links right there on our website. So really good go-to for you based on those needs. We have our Retirement Analyzer software program. It's a program we have available to you as licensed agents through IMES. You can use this to present to clients. Really good fact finder you can utilize, plug information in, and it really gives you some great details on what's going to be available down the line based on your client's needs for income, what kind of money they need to save to get to the point they need to, be comfortable down the road. You can plug in different variables. You can slide in, maybe the client wants to buy a Corvette when they turn 68. You can plug in some different things in there. Second home, you can throw in nursing home stays, turbulent economic times. You can plug in different rates of return. What's a 3% rate of return going to do for you versus a 6% rate of return, and a lot of good information you can plug into the software itself, and prints out a really nice, colorful presentation you can utilize with your clients. Really a great combination there on your end. That's available through our office here, the Retirement Analyzer. You can talk to Marcus Solar on this. He's our local expert on the software itself, so really a good program to take advantage of. We have our IMES Wealth Management team, a great group of people we have in that department. They do a great job on getting you all set up on the wealth management side. I know that we've got help we can provide with getting your Series 65 passed, some other details. If you have interest in looking more into our wealth management side of our business, you can go ahead and check off yes on this program here, and we'd be glad to get you set up and have either Michael or Charles give you a call, kind of go over what we have available on that side. I know we've got a great lineup of investment options. It's a really smooth process, and I know we've grown from basically having no money under management to over 55 million now is through management through our RIA. So we're really seeing a nice growth on that side of the business, and it continues to grow. The stock market making a nice little run here the last few weeks, and then we see more people getting more interested and maybe putting some more of their money in the market, or maybe taking some money that they've had in the market, put in there for a short term, then sliding it into one of the annuities we have available in the market space right now. That's something you have some interest looking more into. I'd be glad to have Michael or Charles give you a call. You can just mark off yes on the program itself here, and we'd be glad to get you started here. So I'll go ahead and close this poll up. I'll give you about another 20 seconds if you do have interest in having them contact you. Make sure you check off yes, and we'll go ahead and have them get in touch with you based on that side of the business. One thing I know that people run into when you refer clients to other agents to maybe take care of some of these investment needs, there are chances you may actually lose that client. So it's better to have everything under one hat, and that way you're not going to have a situation where you refer someone to someone else, and the next thing you know, your client's gone. So that would be the worst possible scenario that could happen to you as an agent out there in the field. So I think it's always good to have multiple hats on. That way you can, the client can take advantage of your expertise on all sides of the market, and really a nice combination there. We have our life and annuity academies. I know we have one coming up in September. It's a great opportunity for you as an agent to attend the all expense paid training. We bring in a number of good speakers, including I know Dave Pemper typically goes to these meetings. It's a great chance for you to pick up some sales ideas, maybe from other agents, obviously from the speakers we bring in, but a great opportunity to really enhance your development as an agent and be able to use some of the information you pick up at these meetings and be able to utilize those in the field. Just launched another poll here. If you had some interest in getting involved in attending one of our meetings, we'd be glad to get you set up on that side. I know we've got some great things happening coming up in the next few months. On the annuity end, we've got some new plans coming out. Got some new ideas which will be coming out here, I'm sure, in the next few months. So we're glad to discuss those with you at the meeting itself. The meeting is going to be the 18th through the 20th of September. We're looking forward to having about 40 people into this next meeting, so we have got some good space available. Should be a great meeting itself. We'll be going over some great details on both life insurance and annuities. Go over some of the indexed options that have had the most recent best returns. We'll go over some large life case information based on specific cases. Go over some different software tools that are being utilized in the field right now, and go over a lot of great information based on that. So that's something you have some interest in. Definitely check off yes. We'd be glad to get you on board for the next meeting. We do have to have you licensed with Athene. They're co-sponsoring the event, and that meeting is coming up in September, as I'd mentioned. So a great option to take advantage of that on that end of it. So I'll go ahead and close this up here and get that taken care of. But if you have some interest in coming out to our meetings, we do about 3 or 4 of these a year till we hold these in either Omaha or Des Moines. Nice combination here based on what's available there in the field, and some great options on that end. This is our last month to qualify for our trip. We have our Naples trip coming up in August. Qualification runs through June. It's a 18-month qualification, so really a great extra time for you to take advantage of that situation and be able to qualify for our trips over longer periods of time. This qualification was about 3 million points to qualify. I know we've got about 60 people on pace to qualify for this year's trip, and should be a great time down there in Naples. I know that these trips are first class, and they do a great job on those trips themselves, and really a great opportunity for you to get in front of more clients and get in front of other agents that are very successful in the business and get some sales ideas from them, and really a good chance to rest, of course, on these trips. And I know that you get to meet a lot of the IM staff, so a great opportunity here to really get.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Doing good. How's it going, Dave?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. So Dave has jumped on board here, and Dave's our specialist today on the Roth conversion side of the market. You may go ahead and change the presenters here, Dave. Over to you.
Yeah, if that's okay, if that's a good time to do that.
Get that done this morning.
Good.
Yeah, Dave is our resident annuity sales specialist, and Dave's been with us for well over a decade now, and has done a great job. I know he's got his new Radio Boss or Boss Radio program going, which has been very successful, and that tends to really increase the business that you're working on, brings a lot of new clients in. I know Dave every week in, week out is getting more and more clients coming to see him based on his radio show and his seminar system. So glad to have you on board, Dave. You can go ahead and
Good. Thank you much.
get started.
Yeah, for some reason, Matt, I don't have the screen up on my. For some reason, my screen's not up. I don't know why.
Huh?
So
I show it on my system here. Well, I have your screen on my system.
Okay.
Is it not showing on your side?
No, it's not. But what I'll do is I will run through this. You know what? I want to have you talk for like 1 more minute. I'm just going to jump right back on and see if it shows up. If not, we'll just take it from there, okay?
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Scratch.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good. But, yeah, so Dave's going to be joining us here in another minute. But we'll be announcing our next trip coming up at the qualification run. This next trip will run from July 1st of this year through December of 2020. Should be another 18-month qualification. Should be a really strong location. We'll be announcing here in the next few weeks. I know we typically announce these at our annual meetings, which will be in the end of August. So we should have that next location here in the end of August and get all that changed. Get this changed over to Dave again, see if his system's up and running yet. But it should be another really nice meeting we're holding in a warmer location. Should be a great time had by all at our next trip. I know we've been seeing a lot of rate reductions announced here the last few weeks, and it should be another couple months. We'll hopefully be able to hold rates. I know the Fed is looking at possibly reducing rates more here in the next meeting, which I believe is the middle of July. We'll see how that plays out and see how that works in the field there.
I'm back. Okay,
right.
For some reason, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to have you follow along as I'm going through the slides. I'll tell you when to switch them. For some reason, I'm just not up, but that's okay. We'll get going because people are waiting. Okay, if that's okay with you, Matt.
Yep, we'll go ahead and get her going here. So we'll go. I got the first slide up here, and we'll move forward.
Okay, what's the first slide say?
Boost your production using Roth Conversions.
Yeah. So welcome everybody. I'm Dave Pimper. Been in the business since 1981. So for a long time, and do a lot of coaching.
1881, Dave. Is that wrong?
Well, I'm going to say 1981 instead.
Okay, just making sure.
Right. Yeah, you know what? In our business, I mean, education is power, absolutely, but you have to get in front of enough people. So that's why we have a lot of seminar marketing. We have Retirement Boss Radio, which is radio host marketing, having your own radio show. We just rolled that out about maybe 2.5 months ago, and we've already got I think 6 or 7 cities that we've got radio shows going on, and including my own at Omaha, Nebraska. We actually are kind of going in with Social Security seminars and having a seminar that's all in-house, and where it's about $1,000 less than the cost of the average seminar before, and getting about the same amount of people. So we're just working on a lot of different things with IAMS, and it's exciting to roll those on out, to the sales force. But today we're going to talk about Roth Conversions and maybe how that can help you, not just from your ability to answer questions about Roth Conversions, but also to go on in and to use Roth Conversions as a marketing tool. We'll go to the next slide.
Yep, got it up
so
here.
Why are tax-free Roth Conversions timely? Well, they're timely because of the tax code right now. The tax code is pretty favorable for paying lesser income tax. Remember, when you Roth convert, you're going to be taking money out of traditional, and you're going to be paying taxes on it and converting it into a tax-free. So what happens is that because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, there's no doubt that it's timely to bring up to people, if they've got a lot of traditional money in retirement accounts, to maybe look paying taxes when the rates are low, going in and converting it. We'll go to the next slide. Roth conversion specifics. So, like I said, a Roth conversion, you're going in and you're converting a traditional IRA to a tax-free Roth IRA. Now, the reason why people don't convert more, because a tax bill is due when the conversion takes place. But tax-free, absolutely, if you're in a pretty good tax bracket, tax-free beats the heck out of tax-deferred. So what happens is if someone's in a mutual fund, you might go in and look at, say a fixed indexed annuity that has an income rider. And when you start talking about guaranteed, predictable, tax-free income stream, my oh my, that should grab the attention of a lot of folks. With pensions going out and defined contributions coming in, 10 years ago, 70+% of the S&P 500 had a pension. Today, it's about 10% of the S&P 500 companies have pensions, and that's why people are looking for ways to go in and to add to that income. The Secure Act, which is being passed by Congress, over 400 votes yes, only 3 votes against. Now it's in the Senate for the legislative committee to see what they'll do to it. But one of the parts of that act is to getting annuities with lifetime income benefit riders into 401ks, which is really not the case now at all. So you're seeing that's another thing about Roth conversions, maybe into some kind of income stream. Remember this, traditional IRAs have RMDs at 70.5. Just to let you know, that Secure Act, and I do think it'll go through, RMDs will not be due until 70. Until 72, from 70 up to 72. Also, just let you know that's in Matt. We may go in and kind of do a webinar on the Secure Act, because it's a lot of people are asking questions about it. They're also going in and with Roth IRAs, tax-free Roth. As long as you're making an income, a working income, you can be 100 years old and still put it into a Roth IRA. That's not the case with traditional. But now the new law is, if you're making working income, you can put into your traditional IRA for as long as you want to, age 95 or even 100. That's what's still hung up in Senate right now, and we'll see if that goes in and passes. But remember, Roths have no RMDs. Traditionals do at 70.5 as the law stands right now. Okay, next slide. Roth conversion specifics. Well, the 5-year rule. So here's what happens is, when you convert and it goes into a tax-free account, first of all, I'll say this, the money that you're paying in taxes should not come out of the investment. Oh, you know what? You know what, Matt? I'm up on my screen now. It just came up. It's like magic.
It is, but it's actually yes. Because it's off my screen, so I'm doing it on mine.
Oh, okay, good. Well, at least I can see it. Okay. Yeah, but what happens is you should take the money that's taxable, it absolutely should come from another investment or savings account, not from the investment itself. Because if you take it out of that, then that you'll owe taxes on. It just gets to be one big snowball. The break even goes so far down the road. So pay it out of another account. Every conversion has a new 5-year rule for it to be tax-free. So remember, you can always take the principal out. That's after tax money. But the gain on that, it's been taxed already. The gain on that is what needs to be held on to for 5 years to make sure that individual Roth is 100% tax-free. Every Roth conversion has a brand new 5-year. Now, if you just invest into a Roth IRA, say for 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then you're into 20, there with a conventional IRA, individual retirement account, the 5-year is only started one time on the first contribution. Once that's gone 5 years, on a Roth IRA, not conversion, but IRA, then after 5 years, every piece of money that goes in is instantly tax-free on earnings and the growth of that account. Not the case with conversions. It doesn't have to be all or none. Person has $100,000, wants to Roth convert it. Throwing $100,000 of taxable ordinary income on your taxes would be a rough thing. You'd pay $30,000, $40,000 in taxation on it. What about you? I've got a lot of people that are doing partial conversions right now. Got a guy right now that's it's 125,000. He's doing $25,000 a year for 5 years. He's doing a partial conversion every single year. And when you say, hey, I'm too old to Roth convert, depends on if you want to give a gift to your beneficiaries. Because I had a fella, old president of a bank here in town, sharp as can be with money, and he has since deceased, but he made a Roth conversion from his traditional every single year because he wanted his children to inherit that on a tax-free basis, not a taxable basis. Was he going to live long enough to go in and to benefit? Probably not, but that's a nice tax-free wealth transfer to his children, the beneficiaries. We can go to the next slide. Now, what happens is that recharacterizations, they're gone. They're gone. So do-overs, they're gone. It all came about on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, first big new legislation since 1986, over 30 years of brand new taxation. But Roth conversions are done, so you can't do do-overs any longer. Next slide.
No do-overs. It's going to affect
no
my golf game.
Well, you know what? On our golf games, we do have mulligans because first of all, we're terrible, and that's the groups we play with.
That's right.
Yeah, we're lucky we don't play with the government because they wouldn't allow do-overs. That's right.
They changed rules on us.
What to consider before converting to a Roth? Okay, just quickly, look at tax brackets. If you're not going to be in a very high tax bracket when you retire, do you really need to put it into a tax-free? If you're not paying any taxes, it makes no difference if it's tax deferred or it's tax-free, does it? So the higher the brackets you're in, the better it is. Remember, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, people are in lower brackets, which I think that's a good reason to convert. But know that if you're married, it's over $24,000 worth of standard deduction. Very few people, less than 10% of the people are itemizing deductions now. Before it was like 30%. Because you got the first $24,000, you're not paying any taxes on. So you look at that and say, does that tax-free make sense to me? How soon do you need the income? If you have to start pulling from a tax-free account right away, probably is not worthwhile to convert it. Age of the client, but you know what? If you've got beneficiaries who you love and adore, which you probably do if it's your children or grandchildren, for the beneficiary, they get that on a tax-free basis. You may not have to wait the years to go in a break even of tax-free versus tax-deferred in paying the taxes on it right then. So one of the interesting things is provisional income off of your modified adjusted gross income. That is what's counted on Social Security, whether you pay taxes on it or not. Provisional income is this. It's your adjusted gross income not counting Social Security. It's half of your Social Security. It's all of your municipal bond interest. You add that all together and you find out where your brackets lie if you're going to pay taxes or not. Nowhere in there does it say Roth income, Roth distributions, Roth liquidations, because they're not part of that provisional income. So from a Social Security standpoint, very well, it could be worthwhile to convert. So why introduce Roth conversions? Because other advisors probably has not. It lets you get a look at their entire portfolio, okay, when you're going through to seeing, what traditional 401k, IRA, what needs to be transitioned into a tax-free Roth account. Very few people bring this up. I bring it up a lot. I think if they're the high enough tax bracket, that it could be a good time. But it basically opens up the discussion. It creates more opportunity to you to see their portfolio, whether it be your client or a prospect. When I'm competing against someone, I'd say, do you pay your share of taxes? Well, what's everybody say? Of course I do. If I'm competing, I got 3 appointments. I got two from the radio show and one from a seminar today. and I'm going to ask them, why hasn't your advisor brought up about converting money over? Because we're in a lower tax bracket. You probably are a lower bracket than you'll be in a while. And it sunsets out in 2026, so you're going to start paying more taxes down the road. But it really opens up conversation. Go to the next slide. So those are some quick questions and answers. And I'm going to go through those pretty quickly. But you got to ask the person, do you think income taxes are heading higher or lower in the future? What's everybody say? Matt, what's everybody say?
I guess everybody says higher.
Everyone higher. It's just everyone. And you know what? Historically, they're correct. Question 2. How many of you know that up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could become taxable? Was it before 1983 when Reagan and Tip O'Neill, Speaker of the House across the aisle, shook hands, and then it was 50% could be taxed if you're above certain brackets, and then President Clinton came in 93, thought if 50 is good, 85 is even better. But there is 15% that's still non-tax, still tax-free for Social Security benefit. Who wants to leave assets to their heirs? How about if you leave those assets tax-free to your heirs? They'll love you for that, even in your grave. Maybe they'll bring flowers every year and throw them on your grave for that benefit they're going to get. Yeah. Have your tax-deferred retirement accounts gone down in value? If they have, which they haven't as of late probably, but if you Roth converted after October, November, December last year, market was down nearly 20%. Yeah, so you got 100 grand, and let's say it's worth 80. You're converting 80, even though it's come back strong, tax-free, timing-wise. It's always nice to convert when things are down and not up, but that's not always possible. We'll go to the next slide. So this is from Ed Slott. And if you haven't read The Retirement Saving Time Bomb, it's a great book. Get the newest edition. They talk about a lot of cool stuff in that. In fact, I've got a 401k IRA rollover workshop that I really used this book for some of the key points to talk on. So, when you're talking about Roth conversions or in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans, I do a lot of business with in-service non-hardship withdrawals, a plan that you're able to work at that money at 59.5 or over, the Roth conversions, beneficiaries. I mean, it's really a good book, and it's a very good source for retirement planning. But he says Roth IRA conversions are the silver lining to the economic crisis. These may be the lowest tax rates you see for the rest of your life. Now, that's been from a while back, but I'll tell you what, I think because of the tax acts we're in right now, I think that brackets are lower. I know they're lower for the average middle American. I think there's going to be a saving, especially with the standard deduction. What a good time to bring up about Roth conversions to your client.
Yeah, I just launched a poll real quick here, Dave, to get people that, some interest in getting some more information on the Roth conversion, situation you were talking about, and be able to get, more information from you directly. So I just launched that poll. So we'll leave that up for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, sounds real good. Yeah, and there's a couple questions that have come up. If you have any other questions, please type them on in. But one of the questions was they wanted to make sure that I did say that Roth IRAs, there's no required minimum distributions. Let me go in and just do a caveat to that. With husband and wife, there is no required minimum distributions, no RMDs on a Roth IRA. But, and this person asking this question might be referring to this, once that second spouse dies and it goes to contingent beneficiaries, most of the time it's to the children. Then the children, if they inherit that and stretch it out, there are RMDs, required minimum distributions on their age, but there's no taxation on it. So that's where that tax-free wealth transfer, just like my banker friend, that's now passed, but he did probably for 10, 12 years a Roth conversion every single year for his children, so they would not have to pay taxes on that money. They're blessing him and thanking him from the grave that there's no taxation on that money. So that's a good question. I see one more here, Matt, and then we'll see if there's any other questions that come in. But they said, so Dave, really, how would you how would you go in and prospect with Roth Conversions? Well, first of all, you could do the 401k IRA rollover seminar that we have that has a big portion on Roth and Roth Conversions. The second way would be just mentioning it to all of your clients. Hey, you've got traditional here. Are you tired of paying taxes? Yeah. Well, you could convert. You got to take a little bite in the beginning with taxation, but because we think rates are down some now compared to what they'll be in 4 or 5 years, you could Roth get them on in and you review the portfolio. I also would do that. I do that with virtually all of my prospects coming in from my different marketing sources, seminars, Retirement Boss radio host, etc. Yeah, so it really kind of goes in and it garners a conversation about ways to go in and save on taxation. Because believe me, when you start talking tax-free, that's a beautiful thing, tax-free. I'm going to jump this over to you, Matt, and see if there's any other questions. And if not, we can.
I'll leave this poll open about another 15 seconds. But did another question that came up. I know that he knows the government gave clients the right to stretch out their taxes on Roth conversions. They know that when they first did this, they gave them like 5 years to pay their taxes on this. Do you see that being offered again in the near future, Dave?
No, I don't. Okay.
I
think they're going to go in. They want the money. But here's one of the things, interesting you bring that up. It's in the new tax law. Believe it or not, what happens is that I don't like this part of it. Excuse me, but with stretch IRAs and inherited IRAs, where kids can stretch it out all the way through the lifetime, or spouses all the way out for the lifetime. Now they're looking at having a mandatory of the maximum of 10 years. So I hope that doesn't happen, because it hurts the American public. A lot of things in that Secure Act does help, but I think what happens, we have to go in and know this is going to be major tax legislation. And remember, Congress, it was passed 413 to 3. And hardly ever, do you have, bipartisan, each side said it was okay. So, but there's going to be some changes. But I just want to let you know, Roth conversions are pretty cool, changing taxable to tax-free. And hopefully you marked yes. And if it is, we will touch base with you and we'll help you in any way you can to market your business. But it's another, kind of IAM's educational series on Roth conversions. Hope that everybody enjoyed it and got a lot out of it today.
So another question came up. Is there any income limitations on Roth conversions?
Zero. There's not. There used to be 100,000. 6-7 years ago, they changed that to none. So you could convert. Like if you're Mitt Romney, you got your $26 million IRA rollover. He could convert that all. Now he's going to owe the highest tax bracket on $26 million, but there is no limit. Of course, there are with Roth IRAs, $6,500 if you're under 60, under the age of 50, and then it jumps up to $7,000 if you're over. But with conversions, there is no limit whatsoever.
Another question came up, Dave. Is there any software available that illustrates the benefits of converting to a Roth?
There is. There's software out there. Some is better than the others. We're actually. Do you know if there's any software on the retirement analyzer? I don't think there is with Roth conversions. Is there?
I don't believe so, but I'll verify with Marcus. And then when I make my calls to these individuals today, I'll go ahead and confirm that when I call them.
Yeah, there certainly is, and we can get you names of some software that's either no cost or inexpensive that does the conversion. Absolutely.
Sure. Well, that's the question so far. You want to continue in the process here?
So you bet. So real quick, and as we're finishing on up, just understand tax-free beats tax-deferred. There's no age limits as long as you've got working income. There's no age on Roth IRAs, but Roth conversions, then there's no age limits, period. There's no required minimum distributions after age 75. So this is kind of a repeat of what we said before. And go to the next slide here. We're kind of getting close to the end here on what we're doing. So, who might be a good candidate? I'm going to tell you, like I said, your clients, your prospects, just bringing it up to them. You know what? You just have you Roth convert. Do you have any money? They got $400,000 in traditional. Do you have any Roth money? do you know that you can take that and go into, and they might say, why would I do that when I'm paying taxes? Because where do you think brackets are going to be, a higher or lower down the road? And they're going to say higher. So what happens if they don't need that money for a while? Yeah, it could be a very, very potent way to go in and kind of uncover other assets within the portfolio. We can go to the next slide. So you got to go in and then talk about candidacy again. It says don't really need to touch those monies right away. Expect the brackets to be higher. If those go against you, you're not a good candidate. Cannot afford to pay for the taxation unless it's out of this money, you're not a good candidate. So not everyone is a good candidate. They want to need their money right away. It just isn't a good case for you. So this is a myth, or is it truth? A conversion may be great for young people who have many years before they retire, but it doesn't make sense for older individuals. I just talked about that bank president. It made perfectly sense to him because of the wealth, tax-free wealth transfer. Okay, we go to the next slide. Yep. And this is a procrastination slide. And you know what? One last time, we're going to bring up can you bring up that poll again when we're done on the slide for about a minute?
Yep.
And I'm going to talk real quick through it. Yeah.
Sure.
It says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. You know why I bring this up? Because procrastination, I've never heard anybody say, Dave, I've made so much money from procrastinating. You know, if you heard something today that you like, and go ahead and bring up that poll one more time. You need to mark yes on this poll, and we can certainly go on.
I can't bring it back up, Dave. Once I close it, I can't pull it back up.
Okay. Well, if you marked yes on this, what happens is that we're going to get a hold of you. And Matt, you may call every person. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to call everyone. And if you didn't mark something or mark something else, then we can discuss it and then give your name on to Dave if you still have interest in looking more about the Roth conversion.
Yeah, if you have specific questions that can't be answered by some of the folks, but Matt's got a real good background on conversions also. But you know what? If you heard something, you know, maybe it's a seminar marketing. You know, maybe it is Retirement Boss Radio. You know, I mean, which doesn't really for a month doesn't cost about the same as what a seminar costs, a dinner seminar costs. I mean, it's very reasonable. We've put that all together. We'd love to talk to you. So my name is Dave Pemper, Lazarus Coaching. I've been coaching with IAMS for 13 years now. Matt, you're like a lifer. How long have you been with IAMS?
I've been here 25 years, so.
That's a long time. You were like 13, 14 in junior high when you started, or
exactly.
What?
That's what it comes down to.
That's right. Thank you very much. Again, one of the IAMS seminar series, educational seminar series on Roth Conversions. Stay tuned. We got a lot of other every Tuesday, and we have one every Friday morning, and I host both of those. So thank you very much for being part of it. If you have any questions, certainly give us a call. Thank you.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Dave. And we also record all these webinars, so we'll be forwarding over a link to rewatch this. If you want to watch some information you may have missed along the way, you can go ahead and watch that recorded version. Then we have a library of recorded webinars. You can go onto our YouTube channel, and you can watch all the different webinars Dave's done the last couple of years, and pick up some really good sales ideas. You can watch the webinars we're doing on Boss Radio. You can watch webinars on different ideas, maybe doing seminar selling on 401ks or doing seminar selling on all kinds of different items. He's got some great information there. You can pull up all the old webinars. You can pull up another webinar we did on 401ks. You can pull up one on Roth IRAs from the past. So you can really get some good information right off our YouTube channel there. Anything you want to close up with this morning, Dave?
Just thanks a lot for attending, and just have a great, productive week.
You do the same, and everyone out there have a great week. I'll be contacting all the attendees today and going over any questions you may have. Otherwise, everyone enjoy their summer, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.